Hey, what's goofy, USA?
Well, what if somebody took 10 Cadillacs, dug holes in a field, and buried them nose deep?
What if indeed?
Yeah, well, so of course, I'm sure you know we're talking about the Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. And the Cadillac Ranch started out as an art installation in the 70s where they basically took 10 Cadillacs and buried them nose deep in the desert in Texas. It's sort of a tribute to how the tail fins changed over the year, but it's very Instagrammable, right? I mean,
Sure.
The Cadillac Ranch isn't just kind of a random art piece. It's history and rebellion and creativity. Now, what one thing stuck out in your mind the most when we visited it now a few times?
The most, I think the thing that I always think of when I think of visiting Cadillac Ranch is the thickness of the spray paint on the cars. So I don't know when this started. You might. Once it was an art installation, I imagine they didn't say, hey, I put these Cadillacs out here for you to spray paint. But somehow people started spray painting them.
Yeah.
And that was in the 70s. So 50 years of layer after layer after layer after layer after layer of spray paint.
They actually have scraped the paint off and repainted them several times.
Okay.
Believe it or not. Because you're right. It gets so thick.
Yeah, the thickness.
It's like, I don't know, cake frosting. There's so much of it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like rubbery looking and kind of melty looking because it's just so thick that, it's not sticking to anything but the other 40,000 layers of paint.
And a stressless camping sticker.
Yeah,
it's nuts. And it smells like paint. And there's spray paint. People spray paint stuff on the ground. And they even they put spray cans like they've stepped on to make that kind of part of it.
Paved it with spray
cans.
Yeah,
it's an interesting place. But it started in 1974 by a San Francisco art collective called Ant Farm. And they looked for who would do this crazy installation and found Stanley Marsh III, who spelled his name with the number 3 as opposed to the,
instead of the third.
Yeah. So there are catalogs from 1949 to 63. Although I'm not, that's what it says. I thought I saw 64. But anyway, the idea was to kind of showcase the evolution of the Cadillac tail fin. And the artists bought used Cadillacs from junkyards, drove them to Amarillo, and just buried them in the dirt.
It's so crazy. So they're all in a straight line. If you haven't been there or you haven't seen pictures by some odd chance, they're all kind of buried in a straight line at an angle.
Well, here's an interesting thing. That angle is 52 degrees to mimic the Temple of Giza. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Yeah, that's why they're buried at that angle.
All right. I thought it was like the ultimate angle for them not to fall over.
That could be too. So get this. In 1997, where we have seen the Cadillac Ranch isn't where it has always been.
Really?
Yeah. They moved the Cadillacs in 1997 because, as you know, going to Amarillo, it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Oh, sure.
And at one point, they're like, oh my gosh, it's like too close to
the middle of town now.
Yeah, basically. So in 1997, they moved it to where it is now, which is a cow pasture, which is kind of appropriate for Texas because, lots of Texas Longhorns and all that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it'll take before the city reaches the new ranch.
It's definitely creeping up on it.
Yeah, that's true.
So just so you know, it's free to get in. There's no charge. They do encourage you to bring spray paint.
They do encourage you to throw your cans away at the end. Don't just drop them on the ground.
Yeah, but a lot of people just drop them on the ground.
People are messy out there. It's kind of rude.
People have spray painted the ground too, for better or worse, whatever. It is a genuine Route 66 landmark now. And when we have gone the past few times, there have been coffee vendors there too. So
like a food truck type of, but in an old vintage trailer.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
One time there was a 58 Cadillac pulling that trailer, which was kind of cool. So the Cadillac Ranch is in Amarillo, Texas. One of these days
just
we need to spend
right on the west edge of or nearing the edge.
Yeah, or at least the edge for now, right? Do know if you visit, like we said, bring spray paint. Know that it's a big open field in Amarillo. It can be seriously windy there.
Sure, it can be pretty muddy too. The first time we went, it was sloppy. Had been very rainy, and you park on the street, and then you walk through a gate and into where the Cadillacs are. So it's it's not far, but
maybe half a mile,
but it's a
little
bit of a walk.
Yeah, and one thing to know, if it's windy, people are spray painting all over the place. Don't bring your Sunday best clothes,
right?
Because you
might get spray painted.
Yeah, and some of the cars just haven't dried.
Well, true. You lean up against a wet car.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you go, look for our sticker. We put one of our Stresses Camping stickers, although I'm sure it's under 18,000 layers of paint by now.
Yeah, that's true. So
time to go put a new one.
Yeah, and as a car fan that I am, a lot of the cool chrome and other bits and all the glass is off these cars.
Yeah.
So they are just an art installation now. So it is open 24 hours a day, and it is an authentic piece of roadside America along Route 66 that absolutely is Goofy USA.